Joe Klatt released his latest mock draft, and he has Washington's Michael Penix going to Miami, who already have a quarterback. But Klatt writes, I don't think Tua is the right fit for Mike McDaniel's offense. They need a quarterback who throws on time with great leverage and accuracy down the field. Penix hits those marks. Could this be Tua's last year in Miami?
If Mike McDaniel is the coach I think he is, then yes, it could be. But before I give that, I want to go even further galaxy brain on this for a moment, which is, first of all, if I were advising the Dolphins, I would tell them, hey, you know how Minnesota acquired an extra first-round pick? They have the 11th, they have the 23rd because they want a quarterback. I would call them and see what they think of Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh,
I would say I would.
win-win.
You can have stability at the quarterback position, maybe quiet Justin Jefferson's fears, and we don't have to keep tearing because Miami's already in minor teardown of the roster without having paid Tua. Right. We can reset the clock and up maybe the upside of the quarterback. So that because they haven't paid him, he's incredibly tradable. Like any of these other quarterbacks who've already been paid, trading them is so painful because you paid.
But you have to pay him unless you're looking at him as a 1 year.
Well, right. And that's what brings me to this. I really like Mike McDaniel. I think he's really sharp, and I grade him. And I'm not trying to start a Purdy argument. Just follow me here on a similar curve that I grade Shanahan, which is look at all he's doing despite the limitations of the quarterback. Okay. So, again, that's just my opinion. We don't have to do the Purdy thing.
A little bit of a fight.
No,
but if Mike McDaniel signs off on them giving Tua a market-level extension, that curve is removed in my mind. You signed up for this to be your guy. You must make it work. You want him. So if they decide we're going to pay, and by the way, same thing with Shanahan, if a year from now they pay Purdy. It's like no more, well, what do you want from him given the quarterback? You want this to be your guy. So if I were advising the Dolphins, would not tie myself to Tua over the next 5 years at $55 million a year.
Are you saying you wouldn't do it before this season, or you wouldn't do it, period?
I can't imagine what I'd have to see this year to believe that Tua Tagovailoa is going to be a force multiplier at the quarterback position. I've never seen it. I don't believe it's coming. And you disagree?
Well, here's Tua's numbers.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you want us to do?
Go ahead.
They play the games. The guy was in MVP conversation. He threw for 4,624 yards, which is the most in the league.
Yeah.
Last year, he had almost 9 yards a pass and led the league in passer rating. This year, he was number 2 in yards per pass, only behind Brock. So, again, Shanahan's system.
Yep.
Per game, he's averaging 2 yards less per game than CJ, who we're throwing daily parades for.
Yeah.
And then passer rating, it goes Brock number 1, Dak, the MVP, and then Tua. So I'm reading Klatt's quote like, I don't think he can get it done. Like, what does getting it done look like?
Would you be happy if the Patriots traded the 3rd pick for him and paid him instead of drafting a total flyer?
I look at the whole picture. He works with this team. You got to win some more games. Sure, but
I lean more toward Nick. I'm not as dug in as Nick is. Tua's got to play great this year. First of all, he's got to stay healthy. All right, we saw
last year.
That's 1 year.
Yeah,
one out of 4.
Yeah.
All right, so first of all, he's got to stay healthy. He does have to play, I'd say, even better than last year. All right, and here's why, because I got to be fair. With the Cowboys, it was all about all they do is beat tomato cans.
Yeah.
What about Tua?
Oh, we
got to grab him
out.
Against the teams playoff teams, he's 1-6, 10-1 against non-playoff teams. Look at the numbers. He doesn't throw for a lot of yards against playoff teams. Yards per attempt is way down. TD to interception ratio is pathetic. Passer rating's low. So I got to see him play better against the top teams.
Mike McDaniel's a genius. It's all Tua's fault.
No, I'm not. But he's got to play better than that against Brock is playing better than that against good teams.
So hold on. Can and this is where I really wish I could just see inside your brain. I mean it. Like, I just want, because Wilds and I, in life and in sports, agree on so much.
Yeah.
And then there is this one thing, it feels to me, which is I don't know where to judge you on quarterbacks. Because You are the biggest, I don't give a damn about the stats. I care about the wins guy.
I like the wins.
Whenever we are talking about a quarterback that I tend to believe the stats are inflated, the stats are wildly important all of a sudden. We saw Tua fall apart at the end of last year, and then when people were still in denial about how good the Chiefs were, what did everyone say about that playoff game? What, you expected Tua to play in the cold?
No, it was
What,
cold.
you wanted
He's
him to play in the
0-6.
cold?
Hold on.
He lost to the Super Bowl champions. So did everybody.
There's cold and then there's freezing.
It was
He's
freezing.
0-6 when it's 45 degrees or less.
Were the Dolphins
You
better?
gotta be away in 40-degree weather.
Does anyone think the Dolphins were better than the Chiefs last year?
A lot of
Okay,
people.
then they lost.
Hold
And
on.
they lost. They went
it
to,
wasn't
they went
even
to Kansas City and
competitive
lost.
game.
But
for the
hold
most
on.
part.
Do you think? Wait, Wilds. I'm
It
just
wasn't
asking you,
competitive.
amongst the playoff teams, with how the Dolphins were playing at the end of the year, if they hadn't drawn Kansas City, you liked their chances in a
I
lot of
don't
those
know.
You
games.
see, they were 1-6 against. It wasn't
I
just
know.
the Chiefs.
And so
I push back on the coach is a genius. But you should get rid of the quarterback. When Brock brought Mahomes to overtime of the Super Bowl, and Tua led the league in passing. It's like, poor Mike McDaniel can't paint his masterpiece with Tua. Tua's no good. Man, Tua played great. He balled out.
He
What
didn't
more do you
ball
want
out
the guy to
against
do?
playoff teams.
so
Is that all on him, or does he have the
No,
let
some
your defense win
some of it
games?
is on. I'm
Did
not
Mahomes
saying,
ball out
I'm not
against
saying
all
he's-
playoff teams? Had the best
he won
defense in
the
the league.
Super Bowl.
I understand,
I
but we
will-
saw Mahomes struggle, but the defense lifted him up.
Here's what I'll give you, and I mean this. I'm not being funny. Tua has proven, now it might be against the also-rans of the league, but he wins. All right, he's 32-19. This is including
that.
Flores, and they're 7-9 in those 4 years without him. 32-19 with them, 7-9 without him. So he is a good quarterback, but I got to see it this year. It's like CJ. I'm not ready to say CJ is elite. I think so, but I got to see it for a second year.
He had. What do you want him to do? He led the. If I was Tua, and suppose we were interviewing Tua, and you just gave me that take, and I was like, Brew, I led the league in passing. What
That's
what
one out
more
of
do
4
you want me to
I
do?
want you to be healthy for a second straight.
I was healthy last year.
No,
That's
except for
one
a
out
second
of
straight
4
year.
years.
All right, even if you remove the health part of it, like the health part of it is tied to him because he's never going to be escapable because he has been taught correctly that he can't, like he's got to just go down. He obviously doesn't have a very strong arm. We see that. Folks tried to play, the Dolphins fans who can get as mad at me as they want, I don't care. They tried to play this game of, oh my God, he's so deceptive with his eyes, which whenever people go to those things, what that means is, yeah, I'm seeing the same limitations as you, so I'm kind of pulling something.
I think that's
so
unfair.
You think it's unfair?
I think it's unfair to say, like, well, he doesn't have a strong arm, even though he was second in yards per pass. And then Tyreek's out here, and it's on NFL films, running the wrong route, and then Tua's throwing him open. And Tyreek goes to the sideline, like, yeah, sorry, I ran the wrong route. And Tua's like, it's
so let me
okay, I
just
got
ask
you.
this.
Even though everyone blames me until the sound comes out. It's like, it's actually
If
Tyreek
you were
Hill's fault.
running the Dolphins, Tua was up for a contract last year, and they
I
held
would wait
off
to
on
see.
it
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
he hadn't been healthy. If you were running the Dolphins,
Yeah.
and Tua's agent's like, hey, here's the deal Justin Herbert signed. We know how this works. We're the same draft. He got it a year earlier, by the way, with less pelts on the wall. I would like that contract plus 5%. You feel comfortable with that?
No, I would say you're somewhere between, let's be honest, I would take out Mahomes Mountain and be like, you're somewhere between Baker and Josh Allen. And let's figure that out.
Baker and Josh
That's a
Allen.
huge gap.
I mean,
So, but you would give him 50
give
a
a
year.
take.
$50 million a year.
give a take,
48.
Miles, between. Okay, so you would do that.
Not every guy needs to be
He's
the
not
number one
taking
guy
48.
all
All right, no,
Sunday.
but that's
He's not
fine.
taking
48
48
million's
Not
okay.
yet, but he's
But
not.
you would
no.
give him 48.
That's a little too low.
Sure.
Okay.
48, sure.
Then
I
would,
don't think his
Daniel
agents
Jones
would
getting
settle
40?
for that
Then
right
I
now.
think you should want the Patriots to trade the
That's
third
not
pick.
where we're at.
But what
That's not where we're at
35 years
developmentally.
old? He's a good.
sure
You
are.
think he's a really good quarterback?
I do, with the system.
But
looking-
now you're killing. Oh, wait, hold on. Now you're a McDaniel guy. The system.
He works. The system, he did
Let's
his...
see if it works.
He did his
They
job.
got pummeled by good teams, Wild.
He lost to the
And
world
not just
champions.
they were 1-6.
And they
the
fell
Chiefs were
apart.
just one
The
of those
Bills
teams.
We're gonna fire everyone.
The Bills are good too.
Well, you gotta beat good teams.
Then give him a shot. He did his job. He did his. What's my job?
What?
Throw the ball. I did it. I did it better than everybody else.
No, he didn't do it better than everybody.
I did it more often for longer. Bring out the break dancers.
Right, that's what they were.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.